Well, the centre purlins are in. That was the most awkward part, I think. But everything else on the outside and the front is just singles. The centre purlin is a double. There's a 100mm gap in between them, and that's where blocking will go, and the blocking will be in line with the rafters going across. So the top of the concrete pad is coming to there. That's the surface of the floor. That's the first girt. So that's about 250mm above the top of the floor. The next one is 1100 above that, and the third one is 1100 above that again. So they've only got to be notched in about 10mm into the pole. That's probably enough right there. So I'll just make another cut the same width as the girts, which is about 50mm. Then I'll chisel the centerpiece out. Well, I've notched in the grooves for the side girts to sit in. It doesn't affect the structural integrity of the poles whatsoever. Bottom girts are in. That didn't take long at all. I've just done this side and the outer side over there. So these ones, as long as they're completely level, so the string line is the outside of the pole. So if the face of the girt here is perfectly level with the outside of the poles, we then measure from the top with a string line and plumb bob down level with the string, which will give us our 90-degree outside wall. Easy. The kit for this shed, it came with these poxy little nails, and they're absolute waste of time. They're really soft metal and the heads rip off them. And that was all that was supposed to be holding these girts into the post, was these shitty little nails. So I'm not using those. I've got these gigantic big, well, they're like a coach bolt, I guess. Yeah, they're awesome. It's not going to move with those bad boys. This is frustrating. There we go. How am I going to do that? And if I do this, gently put that there. Oh, come on, baby. Put that in there. There's a lot of parts of this build I haven't included. Anyone knows that trying to video and work at the same time is incredibly difficult. Slowly but surely. Oh, you son of a bitch. I got more. Get in there. All I can say is thank God for that 3.5 ton digger there, because there's no way I could have lifted these purlins up without it. And of course the drill's running out of power. Getting the roof of the shed put on, that's a huge milestone. I can't tell you how difficult it was doing this by myself. Too difficult, too frustrating, and I couldn't deal with trying to film it at the same time when I'm putting it on by myself with a bung arm. So quite pleased to get that done. So there's a slight change of plan now. This whole clay area, I originally was going to build 2 small cabins on here. Not anymore. Now I'm going to cover this with trees and flowers and just make it like a, well, just a nice pretty area with trees and flowers. Fruit trees, deciduous, evergreen, everything. The 2 small cabins I am going to build are now going over that way. I'll show you. So one cabin is going to be built up on here, nice little flat terrace, just behind these small stand of, what are they? New Zealand kahakatea trees. Yep. It's going to be in there, small deck coming out into the front, and it'll be overlooking a pond. And the second cabin is going to go in here, right next to where I said the first one was going to be. I've put a permanent fence in right up the whole length of the driveway and going up to the gate up there. This track's going to be really good for doing a complete loop of the property. That'll be fun on the bike. Pretty much everything you can see that's clay has been seeded with grass. I've used, it's a 25 kilo sack, and I've spread it everywhere. So that's going to really hurry things up along and get it looking nice and green. Making stoat traps. Trying to rid this area of all the little nasty creatures that are killing the native birds and reptiles. And setting cages to trap wild cats. And there's a lot of those around, but I've managed to get 5 in the last week, so I'm pretty pleased about that. Just checked the second trap, there's nothing in that one. Well, that's good, means I'm keeping on top of the predators. As difficult as this has been doing it by myself, I've loved every second of it. It's so rewarding, especially when you see things starting to come along. It's challenging. Yep, another job ticked off. Move on to the next one. Well, thanks very much for watching. I'll aim to do the next video with this shed completely finished, and I'll go over in detail the cost and a bit more in depth of just how good these sheds are, how easy they are to build,